What's going on, YouTube? It's King Games 29 here. I got a lot of news today, big Yu-Gi-Oh news. I'm sure some of you may have seen it yet, but for those who have not, I'm here to inform you about all this news. So sit back, relax. This might be a long video, so let's just get right into it. So the new starter deck for 2017, they announced some new stuff, and this right here is the introduction of the Link monsters. As you can see here, it's blue. I was expecting something red, because we don't have anything that's red, and we already have blue via Ritual Monsters. And I like the pattern though, the hexagon pattern in the background, and it's kind of a darker blue, so I really think it's going to be good. They don't have a defense. If you can see there, it says Link 3, and then its attack is 2300. Then it also has those arrows. I'll get into those later. But for now, let's get into its effect. It's a Cybers type. That's a new type introduced in the new show, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. I'm not 100% sure how that show will be, but I'm sure it'll be pretty good. There's a lot of talk about it, but I think it's gonna... Arc V was really well done, I think, if you've seen it or haven't seen it, but I have hopes for Vrains that it'll still be good, and I will be watching it. But let's get into the card. It's 2300, Link 3, up, bottom, left, right, and it's 2 or more effect monsters. And then it has 500 attack for each monster linked to it, so I'm assuming the cards above it and to the sides of it are going to give it 500 attack. And then when an opponent's card effect activates that targets this card you control is activated, you contribute one of your monsters linked to this card, negate the activation if you do destroy it. So I'm not 100% sure if you can tribute your opponent's monster in the other linked zone, or I'm sure you have to... It says you're a monster, so I'm assuming the bottom 2 links there. So it negates the activation and destroys it. So it's a negator, and it's 2300. It gains attack. So it's a decent card. I'm sure there's going to be better ones in the future, but expect good stuff out of this card. So now we got Link Slayer. This is another Cybers card. Text is covering that up, and it says, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand, so it's Cyber Dragon. And then once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards, and then target that many spell if traps destroy them. So that's not bad. It's kind of a Twin Twister, kind of a Cyber Dragon. So hopefully it's got good attack. We'll find out in the future. Draco Connect, Draconet, another unconfirmed. You normal summon this, you special summon a level 2 or lower monster from your hand in defense, or deck in defense. That's pretty good, I think. So here's another Link monster. This is 1000 Link 1, and it's just down, and it only requires 1 normal monster, so I think that's pretty good. And once per turn, you can special summon 1 level question mark, since it's unreadable, or lower normal monster. So there's some normal monster hype here. And it doesn't have great attack, but it seems pretty decent if you're running a normal deck. Also notice they don't have levels. I think that's interesting. Hopefully that plays something into them. Let's see, Ram Clouder. This is 1800,000, another Cybers, part of the new Cybers archetype. You can only use this card once per turn. You contribute 1 monster, then target a Cybers type, and special summon it. So, again, supporting this new archetype, so I think that's pretty good. This looks cool. I think she's the coolest. Honeybot, she's 19, 2 links, and she's 2 Cybers monsters, so, again, it requires the Cybers. Go with the starter deck, the whole thing. And monsters that are linked to this card cannot be targeted by effects or destroyed by battle. So I think she's probably the best one out of all of them right now. Plus, she's 1900, so I think that's going to be pretty good. And then, to go with the vanilla stuff, this is Bitron. It's 200, 2000 defense, so it seems pretty decent, I guess. 2000 stats for a 2-star, so interesting stuff from this first article here. So now we get into Code of the Duelist. This is the new set after Maximum Crisis. So this guy, he looks like Guy of the Fierce Knight from what I think. That's pretty cool. And he's 3 links, and he's just kind of a vanilla. And I think it's interesting. He's 2600 attack, and it doesn't have an effect, but he has 3 links. So we'll expect big stuff out of that. And this is Mrs. Radiant. I'm pretty hype about this one. This is 2 Earth monsters, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn. All Earth monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense, and then all Wind monsters lose 400 attack and defense. So that's pretty decent. And then if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target an Earth monster in your graveyard, add to your hand. So right off the bat, I think Cliffort, because personally I love Cliffort, and I know they're all Earth. and you gotta adapt to the new meta always, always, always. I'm very much about adapting and keeping up with the meta. So this card right here, even though he doesn't have a huge amount of attack, he's gonna help out the deck, I think, to start it off with the new Link stuff. And Pendulum Summoning is also changed with the new rulings. I'll get into that in a few moments. But I think this will help out Qliphort if you plan on playing Qliphort in the upcoming metas. So now we have a new rescue card, Rescue Ferret. This is 4 stars, 300 to 100, and you only affect once per turn. Shuffle this card you control into the deck. Special summon any number of monsters from your deck whose total level equals 6 to linked zones on your field, except the Rescue Ferret. But their effects are negated and they're destroyed during the end phase. So again, supporting the new mechanic, but really we don't know what it's going to do until the new stuff comes out and we know more about it. A Cyber's Wizard, another Cyber's card. Once per turn you can target an attack monster, and a monster your opponent controls change to defense. Also, this card cannot attack monsters except that monster. Cyber's monsters you control attack, it does piercing damage, so that's pretty decent for that card, and supports the new archetype, so I like that. Oh, another Trap Hole card. When a linked monster is linked to summon, destroy all unlinked monsters on the field. Assuming it's talking about the monsters that aren't directly pointing to the zones there, this card could be very interesting. And it's a normal trap too, so it's searchable through Rafflesia. So I expect big things. There's Artifact Sanctum hype because of Eidolons, and if this continues and Artifact Sanctum isn't banned or anything, I expect that to go way up in price, and Hat Trick could be amazing again. Make Hat Trick great again 2017. I feel this is going to be under the radar because a lot of people are excited about other cards, but I expect big things from Break Off Trap Hole. So this is some of the stuff I'm most excited about. New Lightsworn support. If you look back in my channel, I love Lightsworns. They're amazing. I have so many Lightsworn deck profiles. I need to make another one eventually, but for now, let's just get right into this. This is Twilightsworn General. He's a warrior type, so Rhoda searchable. You already run Rhoda, that's great. 1800, 1200, once per turn. You can banish a Lightsworn from your hand or graveyard and target a face-up monster on the field, and it loses attack and defense equal to the banished monster's level times 300 until the end of the turn. And then, again, once per turn, if another Lightsworn monster activates its effect, send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave. So it mills, it banishes for the new JD card. I'll get into it in a second. And it makes monsters lose attack, so I think it's pretty decent. And it's kind of like Jane, I guess, the Dark Jane. Hopefully there's a lot more, like, different new, like, Dark Sworns, I guess you could call them, or Twilight Sworns. They're pretty much Dark Sworns. But anyway, this is the new JD. It's called Punishment Dragon. 3026, just like JD's stats. Cannot be normal summoned, must be special summoned from your hand, while you have 4 more different banished Lightsworn monsters, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once during your either player's turn, you can pay 1,000 and return all banished cards and all cards in the graveyard to their owner's decks, and then except Lightsworns. And then once per turn, if your Lightsworn monster effect is activated, send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So this card is huge, I think. And going off Fairy Tale Snow, you're just going to banish 7 cards, so you can banish 4 Lightsworns. So you're going to drop your JD first, do Fairy Tale Snow, and then you can get this thing out. So you're going to have JD, Fairy Tale Snow, and this thing. So I think this is going to be completely insane. Break the deck even more than it already is. I really enjoy this card. This brings a lot of potential to the deck, and it's just going to help Chaos Sworns even be better. And with the new linked stuff and how the extra deck works, you won't even need it when you're going to play Punishment Dragon and Judgment Dragon, all these boss monsters in the main deck. Main deck cards are going to be very important, I think, because they kind of nerfed extra deck stuff. But let's keep going. I expect big things out of this, and Lightsworn prices to go up, and Fairy Tale Snow. Castle Link. This is once per turn during your main phase. You can target 1 link monster, move to the main monster zone, or the field that it's linked to. And then once per turn during your main phase, switch the placement of 2 link monsters in your main monster zone, or 2 link monsters in your opponent's main monster zone. So again, your switching around the placement of the cards. This is going to be important for the new archetype and the new kind of just the new cards in general, I guess. So now this is really interesting. They released the DDDs from the final parts of the show, and this has high hopes for me because they're talking about a new rank 12 Raid Raptor, and we've been waiting for a rank 12 Raid Raptor forever, and I'm dying for a rank 12 Raid Raptor. So they're going to reveal it in about 4 episodes, which is about like a month. I'm really hype about that. I think it's going to be great, and hopefully they put it in this set, because if they're putting Arc V cards from the anime still in this set, then I have hope that they'll put that in there. But they're only revealing DDD stuff, so right now let's just get into it. DD Vice Typhoon. This is 2328 level 7. If you can get that out, that's going to be pretty good for the overlays. You can only use this card's effect once a turn. When it's normal summon, you contribute to DD monsters, especially when one DDD monster from your deck. So, special summoning, pretty good. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard and was sent there during the turn, you banish fusion materials, and it fusion summons a DDD monster, including this card. And if you do, fusion summon it from the extra deck. So, kind of polymerization, kind of special summoning things. So, really good and helps you synchro summon and overlay and all the things DDD does. So now we get into the executive DDD extra deck monsters. 3,000, 2,500. Executive Alexander, 10-star. You can only use this card's effects once per turn. So if there's 3 or more DDD monsters, this gains 3k, so it becomes 6k. That's pretty good. If a DDD monster other than this card is normal summon or special summon, when this card is face up, target a monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it's going to be 6,000. You can special summon stuff. So it's interesting. It's level 10. I'm sure you can make that in DDD. You can make anything in DDD, basically. So this is Executive Caesar, rank 6. 2 Fiend-type monsters, so it can't be just any 6s. When a monster effect, spell, or trap that would special summon a monster is activated, you can detach 1 from this card to negate the activation, destroy it. Then you can have 1 other DDD monster you can control gain that attack. So I think that's pretty good. And then if this is sent to the graveyard, you add a Dark Contract. So they're all decent, I guess. Like, they're not amazing, but if you're able to get them off, then more power to you. So let's just go back quick and look at the new rulings. Probably the most important. So hopefully you've stuck around this late. Hopefully this doesn't go over 15 minutes, but it says like it just kind of, I'm not going to go over everything, but it basically explains how you link summon and how the arrows coordinate with where you can special summon extra deck monsters, because yeah, it says the newly created extra monster zone. So basically these 2 blue areas are where you're going to put your link monsters, and then where these arrows go, wherever they point to, you can summon extra deck monsters. So that's going to be interesting. You can only special summon extra deck monsters now if there's links. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people aren't going to be happy about that. Oh my god, it's the end of the world. It's the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fuck this game, I'm done. It's over. It's been said since Synchros. The game's not going to die. This is going to make it better, in my personal opinion. And then plus, pendulum zones are now in the spell or trap zone. So when you put a pendulum there, it's going to count as the pendulum zone. But you can set spell or traps there and not count it as the pendulum zone. So in essence, you have 7 spell or trap zones now. That's amazing. That's going to bring back a lot of trap decks. That just empowers stuff currently like Paleozoic. I expect artifact stuff to come back, like I was saying earlier. So hopefully you guys understood. I'm going to make a later video, hopefully on Sunday or Monday, when they put this stuff on DevPro, and explain how I did like pendulum summoning when that came out roughly 3-4 years ago. So hope you guys enjoyed this news info. I'm going to end this before 15 minutes. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the future. Peace.